I'll tell him that. No, I'll be here.
So surgery is Thursday.
Dear.
Yeah.
Some people only know how to celebrate Thanksgiving. Go ahead.
Yep.
Here. I'd like to welcome you to the November 19th meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. We'll start our meeting with the pledge of allegiance to the flag and then follow that with a moment of silence for our troops. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Oh. Hello, Kelly.
Sorry, I sent a late email. I couldn't leave.
Oh, okay. You're still here.
Yes, I'm here, exactly.
Thank you. Okay, just a short review for those of us who are here and online. Our protocols are we receive applicants' requests for their variances, why they would like the variances. The board then questions the applicant. Somebody. After the board and applicant are comfortable with the information presented, the floor is then open to the audience, both at home and here. Any questions are directed to the board, not the applicant. Each person must limit their comments to the duration set by the board that night. There'll be no limit at this one. When the applicant and board members are comfortable that all information has been presented, the public hearing can be closed. It can be carried over to the next meeting if further information is needed. ZBA has 62 days to consider and vote on the application. Generally, we do that on the same night. So, okay.
Before we start, just in case anyone's online for 3518 Sandy Beach Drive, that one's been dropped for the night. So if you're online waiting for that, you don't have to stay as in.
Or if anybody's here for that one. Okay, first one we have here is for 3470 Sandy Beach Drive. Request multiple area variances regarding the construction of a 16 by 24 foot deck on the west side of the property facing the lake in the RLD district. 4 variances are requested. A request for a second accessory structure over 100 square feet. 2, side setback of 6.7 feet when 10 feet is required, and 3.3 is requested. A lot variance of 0.6% when 30 is required. 30.6 is requested. The 2 foot lake setback variance for 25 feet to the mean high water elevation is required, and they're requesting 23 feet. So, okay, is anyone here for that?
That's me.
Come up and
Hi, everybody.
present your case.
Okay, well, so I'm a new homeowner as of last year at Sandy Beach Drive, and I'm looking to, I've gone through and fixed a lot of things in the house as far as the way it looks from the outside, new shingles, like individual shingles and trim and stuff on the outside of the house. And I'd like to put a deck out back that's similar to, probably it comes in a little bit. You can sort of see the tree right there. It's just inside that tree, if that gives you a better visual, the one that's existing kind of there, Mike, to the down right here, this guy here. That's actually sort of a, it's just inside it, just to give you kind of an overview, if that helps. It's not gonna have a railing or anything on it. It's just and it's basically the width of the lower 3/4 of the house there. Out 12 and 27 wide.
Do you have a site plan?
The first one I did was with Crayon, so, and then I got that upgraded a little bit, so it's easier to see now. Oh, that's the thing.
One thing I would just question. Your house is not parallel to the sideline.
Right, yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, it's sort of,
Is the deck gonna continue with the house line?
I was going to continue with the house line. But in that corner, the way we kind of sketched it out, it went down, it stayed at 3.3 feet, so you can't really notice it from looking from the outside. If you stand at the water and look back. So it will be slightly angled to the north. Just, but the idea was that we would do it square.
Okay, so even out of the corner, there is still 3.3.
It's three, yes,
Because
yep.
if you continue with the house, it would be really nice.
Yeah.
There's another 4 inches.
It will be a little less, yeah, yep. That's funny, I didn't even notice that until we put all the lines out there and started chalking it and realized that it does fade a little bit.
Is that going to be a separate request or is that outlined in there? Because I'm assuming it's going to be closer to the lot line with the addition.
No, it's.
No, it's gonna say.
Closer, okay.
Not attached to the house, and it's an accessory structure that requires the side setback.
Yeah, that section of, it seems like most of the houses on that street were all sort of stuck to the south end of the lot. Yeah,
No,
and the neighbors everybody's kind of pushed down. I don't know why that is, but it's sort of interesting how things are squared up.
So on this, it looks like there's more room. It looks like it's closer in the back of the house than the front.
Yeah, that's deceiving, but because the survey did show the 4.2 and the 3.3.
Yeah.
So you're right, though, that does sort of look a little, yeah. Yeah, and the plan is, I already have a lot of containers and flowers and things like that, but, I'm big into landscaping and I'm gonna do some more raised beds and some things like that around to make that look better from, I kind of understood after going through the process, how things are supposed to, we want things to look from the lake, and that was a pretty boxy, it was just an old Texter 111 from the 80s, square. And it's now with the individual shingles and stuff on it, it really does soften it a little bit. And there is that tree that it's kind of hard to see, but there's it's like a 35-foot tree there. Honey locust, it's doing better now because there was some dead ash trees by it. Now it's all cleared out. But that will help. It does really help on the south side, and then on the other side, I want to do plantings there as well. So it's gonna look pretty nice.
I think the question we always have to ask, is there any way you can do this without requesting the variances that we're requesting?
It makes it probably not worth doing just because of the size. That's why, because I originally had 16. In fact, I might have said 16 on there, but I backed it off to 12 just to try to get a sense for, what fits in there and what doesn't. It's just with, the way that screen door steps out, it kind of goes on to it'd be nice to have something there just to kind of sit on. Right now it goes down onto the lawn, and it's really, it's pretty tough to manage right now, in and out. And just having stuff in the back, because it gets, mud gets tracked in and that kind of stuff, so just a 12-foot deck there, or depth would be, make it really nice.
Did the rest of the board see the Environmental Conservation Board minutes by chance? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they had suggested rather than all about different things, we go to some landscape.
So, yeah, like, sure. I do that for a living, so I'll do, I've done a lot of seawall and a lot of structure retaining walls and stuff, but we do plantings as well.
I guess my only question would be if you went from 12 foot to 10 foot, you would obviate what? Well, you'd obviate maybe, I don't know how much you'd lose in terms of square feet. It's footage.
Yeah.
Might be lot coverage as well.
So close
on. Pardon me?
He's so close on the lot coverage
Yeah.
requirement, and that would probably limit that.
30.6, yeah. It would eliminate the distance of the lake to.
Yeah, we've been looking around with laying it out a lot of different ways. It starts to get it when you get into 10, it's you get it, it's tight. There is someone that has a 10-foot deck. Our neighbors is 16, folks to the south. And I've talked to them about it as well. That's a pretty good size, but they also felt that they have some raised benches that kind of eat into it a little bit. And they said that's kind of not a bad, that distance is pretty good for them. But if I don't do the benches, that gives me about kind of that same footprint. But you know how it goes, if with a grill and kids and stuff, they start to get filled pretty fast. So we laid it out with just putting some lawn chairs and stuff and furniture out to see how it would fit. And it's tough to go much smaller than when you start getting into the 10s. I have a bay window there too. That eats into it a little. It's pretty tight.
You've got a raised deck and no railing on it. Seems like you're limiting yourself a little bit there because you gotta come in.
Yeah,
I mean, some unobtrusive kind of railing could allow you maybe to go to the, utilize the space closer to the edge.
yeah. I was gonna do just kind of a fixed sort of couch there in the corner, and then try to fit the grill in over by the corner, by the bit where the bay window is.
Did you look at maybe going 20 by 12? Which would probably do the same, get rid of 2 variances there as well.
I'm bringing it in from the south as far as the so pulling it in from the south a little bit. Is that what you're thinking, like over?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're
Yeah.
talking about planters and everything else.
Yeah,
I don't know, I looked at it, but it's hard to get a gauge, I'm just saying that would probably get you underneath the lot coverage, and you might get avoid that side setback variance. I mean, I can understand why you want 12
yeah.
instead of 10, but it's at the same time,
I mean, I originally was hoping for 16, but then again, looking at the neighbors, and you can kind of see, you were out there today, Jason, you kind of saw, it's like, I want to keep it in line with theirs. And it's actually, it'll be inside theirs a little bit.
Did we, do you know if there's any other variances? I mean, we're familiar with this neighborhood, of course.
Yeah.
Just wondering, the neighbors, I would assume they would have had to have a variance for that at some point.
Yeah, I think so. Well, Bob too to the north, he's got about 15 of them, but he's got a really tricky lot there because of the pipeline and all that. I do think I'm biased obviously, but I do think it will look nice. I think it'll fit nicely there from the, from the water and from the the neighbor's view as well. Cause I'm set back a little bit, it seems like from the way that point goes. It's funny how every single house is built differently down there.
Yes, it makes it very fun for us.
Yeah, I can imagine.
One of the letters too said if it was attached to the house, it wouldn't be a accessory structure.
If it's attached to the house.
I mean, I could do it either way. It's a little, will be less holes, but I mean, if it helps or.
I think
I
there was
originally-
suggestion to, wasn't there in the minutes or on the conservation board that I think that might have been a suggestion to attach it to the house for some reason.
Yeah, I might have been confused on that because I originally, I built a bunch of decks. I originally thought that's what I would do. And then I was under the impression that it wouldn't need planning board approval if it wasn't attached. Did I get that wrong? Is that right, Mike? Is it?
If it's attached to the house, because of the size of the variances and disturbances, you still need to go to the planning board, whether
Okay,
it's attached or not.
okay,
So that's what that needs to be does.
okay,
But yeah, your variance requests change depending if it's attached or not, and the depth of your posts.
okay. I mean, would it make it easier if it were attached? I mean, it's 3 less holes for me to dig.
So if you, excuse me, if you attach it, you won't need the side setback variance because you're keeping a pre-existing non-conforming and not expanding it.
Oh,
So you need the side setback one, you still need one to the lake. Because now you just brought your principal structure closer to the lake.
okay,
And you're still gonna need lot coverage and
You don't,
the second, well, it wouldn't be a second accessory structure, it'd be part of that house.
oh, yeah, I would. So I did have plans submitted that did have it had attached to the house and I resubmitted them because I was unclear on that. So I would attach it to the house then. So the original set of drawings, which I do have, would just be 3 posts then instead of 6. And then just. I was wondering about that, why?
So your current proposal is what kind of,
Originally I was just gonna attach it to the house, just simply because it was
same
easier,
size, just screwed.
yeah.
16 by 24
Yeah, no, just 12 by 24, but attached to the house, yeah. 16 was the original, and then after we sort of laid it out and put out what kind of the furniture on it and stuff, we decided, you know, this could be smaller. Because the lawn's nice there, it's, I don't want to go any further than I absolutely have to. It just gets eaten up pretty quick when you start getting down in that the 10 range.
But even with 12 by 24, you're still with 2 feet like.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the not attached. That's my last one I did.
I hear it was wrong. No, it's a 12 by 24
Okay.
and a 2-foot leak setback of 25.
Yeah, I could easily, if they're not there, and I might have deleted them. This is my first time with the cloud permit, so I wasn't, I mean, this has been going on for about 6 months here. But I do have, I do have a drawing. It's essentially like the one that's there. It's just not attached to the house. Everything would have been the same as far as that goes. But as far as the joists and the beam size and all that, the spans.
Their difference in depth. So you have to go with the,
Yeah, go 42 inches minimum hole for, if it's attached to the house. It'll ship with the house. If it's freestanding, it's 24 inches.
anybody on the committee, are they?
Is it possible to just change the layout or go by the old one? Is that,
Procedurally, what are we doing?
I mean, I think I have the sketch of the
Well, we
old
could
one.
deny two of the variances. And prove the other, so.
I believe,
Typically, we go by, what's submitted and advertised, so I don't know.
actually been advertised and it was submitted, so you have to go on this one. And you have to, but
We can go less, but if it changes, correct?
you table it and then.
Resubmit it,
It changes, can he? Because if you say no to this one.
right?
He'll be here to reapply,
Right.
so you can table this and come back with changes, so you can do that until next month.
And if the changes required lesser variances, then that would be okay.
Right.
As far as advertising.
That's kind of why I was asking, because the changes here would be lesser than what was advertised,
Right.
which means.
But was it including the attachment to the house? I mean, does it have to be included in the,
Yes, that has to be. included.
right? And also we're reducing one of the variances, correct?
Or
Or,
we're eliminating two.
right. Okay,
You'd like us to adjourn this until,
I mean, yeah, whatever's, so essentially, if it gets tabled, then I can just,
Resubmit everything to the cloud commit.
okay,
I'll rewrite it to termination.
Okay.
We'll put you on for, probably for next month. You just gotta get it done by the 25th of November.
yeah, I mean, I have it right here, I mean, I could,
So,
but, okay,
and just explain your changes on it
okay,
and put it right into the application.
all right, super, yeah, well, no problem. Like I said, it's still, that makes it easier anyway, and I thought that made more sense from the beginning. Okay, will do. Yep, thank you.
thank you.
You'll have to vote on tabling it, or
Pardon me?
can you just table it? Or
You just pay the-
I don't think we do. Do we? No, technically, yeah. As long as it's okay with them, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Thanks, everyone. Okay, appreciate it.
Okay, the next one is Integrated Power Supplies International. 4821 County Road 16. Requires an area variance for a second accessory structure, which is a generator. Only one is allowed. Yes.
Yes, well, that's what it is, I guess. I'm representing the
More questions?
homeowner, he's not here, so.
Yeah, this unfortunately is, we've gotten into more and more. Hopefully, the ordinance committee is gonna change. That, but, I guess my only question, is the location of the generator right where the heat pump is? On that side of the house?
It's the heat pump.
Looks like a heat pump or an air conditioner on the right end.
Yeah, I believe it
South
is
end.
on that side, but it's at least 5 feet from it.
Okay, so it'll be farther away.
Yeah, so it's more towards the corner, like the corner that faces the lake. Well, there's the house, there's a deck.
Yeah.
And I'm in that corner kind of. And I measured off of, I believe it's an AC unit. It's been a while now, but I measured off of it about 5 feet. And the exhaust would be blown away from that unit anyways, the way that the generator's being placed. So theoretically, the exhaust is 9 feet away from, the AC unit.
So natural gas,
Yes.
no immediate neighbor on that side of the house. Except for a very deep,
No, there's nothing there, right?
if it's an air conditioner, if it's a compressor, it doesn't make any difference. Exhaust isn't gonna be exchanged into the house.
Now, that's a question I was going to not really ask you, but if it is one of those compressor units, that's not really the same as an AC unit anyways. I thought the reason that they didn't want it to exhaust to an AC unit because it exhausts up and it could blow it up into the soffits. But those mini splits, they blow it out anyways.
Okay, if you have anything else, we'll close the public hearing. That's 62 days to the decision, we'll make it right.
Okay, and then what, it will be in the cloud permit?
Tonight's decisions will be posted, we thought for tomorrow morning.
Okay,
Okay?
all
You
right,
can wait around here or you can, no, wait till tomorrow morning. It's up to you.
might as well just do it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mayor, good. Drink of water here.
Yes.
Tail end of the fold. Okay, sorry. Next is 5440 Route, sorry, no, I'm sorry. We're up at 4873 Canandaigua Farmington Town Line Road, Carla Ruger. Variance requesting 22-foot setback for a detached garage. When 38 feet proposed and 60 is required. Okay, just describe what you're planning on doing and why you need to put it where it is and.
Right, we're going to put it, see how our driveway makes a curve right there. We want to put it in front of the end of the curve there, and we're just lacking the footage from the front end on the Canandaigua Farmington Town Line Road.
What are you right where?
Right where that dark spot is.
Are you changing the driveway at all?
No.
No, it already got changed last year when we did the driveway. Added another 12 foot on for the turnaround, come out of the
Yeah, it
driveway.
used to be a
Out of the garage.
single in the end of the curve there. We just added on to our driveway, just a
Okay.
couple feet.
Okay.
Which way is the garage oriented?
It'll be facing County Road 28, so it'll be right there. And just turn along right here.
Lengthwise, it'll be parallel with Town Line Road.
It's
Yeah.
20 yards down here, the maintenance, so 12 by 24 sit right here by the street. And it's got 4 feet up in the back. And we'll let you back, and then the road there, that's where it goes down. And then, so like I said, nothing's ever gonna hit this thing, cause it's a 4-foot pavement. I see some try, but.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever will. And being a shed garage, this is not really attached to the ground or anything, it's one of those, already got the beams underneath it. So it's movable, at any cost, if I ever had to get moved, it'd get moved. Same as like a cabin container, that was another question about. Seeing it's not gonna get done this year for more storage. If I was to go buy, say like a 12 to 10 foot container, like a metal container they have. And put it in the same spot for temporariness, would that be allowable?
That we got to check the code enforcement.
I'm for the garage. So.
Yeah.
It's the accessory structure or garage in the front yard code disappeared.
What's that?
I think detached garage you can put in front there, right?
Well, it can't be further than the setback of the principal structure in the yard too. So the house has a 60-foot setback, putting it here, in front of the, putting it up here in front of the house, so accessory structure has to be at least 60 feet from the front setback line, that's why we need variance.
It's not that it's in the front yard.
No, it's because
They used to have that was
It
that,
used to be,
And they
yes.
said.
and they changed that then? Okay.
Good to know.
As far as coming back further. There's some limitations there.
What would the limitations be if we tried to bring it back farther?
Bring it further back towards the house. you mean?
Yes,
It could be done, I guess, because that's where I said to her, she worried about the trees and the bushes that,
Well, we have a well there and we also have our,
well, right there's that. You hit the well,
you know,
that's only 24 foot.
we have a fence that goes around the pool area.
It's not even close to it. Site.
just trying to minimize the variance, that's all.
Oh, to move it over a
It could-
little,
it could-
maybe a couple feet.
Yeah, it could come back a few more feet this way toward the house. That wouldn't be a problem. Instead of being, it's on the beams that it's movable. I don't know if the things weigh, but like about 12 or 24 garage shed.
I could potentially get away from that one tree there, I guess, too.
Yeah, I'd have trimmed some branches off that small tree. We don't know how big that tree actually is. To me, it's a miniature maple tree. So there's a few branches kind of iffy.
We have a site plan, so we see how much they might be able to move it down.
Except for the actual floor plan of the structure.
Right, that's just.
So you're, I guess, I'm still a little bit confused on that. Where are the garage doors on that? On the roadside or towards? the road?
Be great for facing that way. So our garage is right here now. We have
Cause it lines up with the driveway, cause they expanded the driveway.
Yeah.
It's only usually 12 and not strength 12 up. And then, you think that's all we paid. We had a cutout. Pre-form guide.
Yeah, I wanted it bigger.
Bigger, so our sidewalk, we got them years ago, added it to it. And like I said, if we could, I mean, if we had to come up and stay within on the pavement, we could actually put it more towards this way, so. I can get that.
By a couple of feet.
Yeah. I'm trying to carve it, so it's not that big of a deal in our aspect, you know.
I just wanted to
Figure
line
it
it up with the driveway more because I'm gonna use it for my car. Huh?
Well, I just said I've been down there.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to decide with them is. You're out of way of adjusting that. To lessen the. Variance request. Still do that tonight if we had a specific. Number of feet, you can shift it from where it is. I don't know where you propose to have it.
You're not gonna move it 22 feet, is that what
Right.
you're saying?
No,
No,
not that much further, I don't think.
You'd wanna keep it lined up with the driveway too.
I
Keep
do.
it- keep it line and drive, you could probably only go with like maybe 6 foot maybe.
There-
I'd say at the most. Keep it, if you had, be able to pull into that structure if we put it there at the end right there.
Just. Basically, you'd like to be able to access it in those spots, then.
Correct.
Those
It's up that way out here. I got stick breaker right now, I haven't that out by that. But yeah, we could, if we put like an angle like this, we can move it this way, it's still gas. It's gonna say, because this is big.
The only reason I bring it up is we're trying to, you know, this is a substantial variance and anytime we can get that back where it's quite so substantial, it makes it a lot easier to
Okay.
give you an approval on it, but you know, you're gonna live with it. And that's,
If they ever sell to the next person don't want it, they get rid of it, I'm saying, so it's not attached to the ground or it's not a made fixture to the ground. And I would have done originally.
Mike, what would you need? I mean, let's say they're asking for how many feet now?
22.
And if we could decrease that by 4 to 6 feet or something, but lessen that. Can you see what you need to see from this and from the other to be able to make that? To be able to check on and going where it needs to be and.
Sure.
It's really a variance, but
Yeah, oh yeah.
they put it on. I mean, aesthetically, it's not gonna look as good. They don't make this. We came down from here. So how wide is, right, so the 24 feet,
24 foot.
right, so. And the structure is 12 by
12 by 24.
12 by 20, and it's 12 foot. This way, right?
Right.
Here, so you got that one. Down 7. When he did it to the 15th variance, they put it on this corner.
this is your choice, how you want to proceed here.
Yeah.
We're not- we're not-
That's how I would say we move out, I guess, right now.
If we need to do the 15, then we would, but I prefer the other way.
And if you go with the 15th variance, it's gonna look out of place in that. And that's gonna just, you know, just be one of the questions.
Yeah, I guess I'm
Because
just,
of the property is.
Right.
It's a
I'm
good-
actually having trouble with that other site plan where it looks like your longer dimension of the garage is going that way. Where is it actually going to be? It should be.
The longer way is going back.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
as long as going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've already tried to reduce
All right, okay.
the variance, by shifting it to that
Right.
of the driveway, so I think. I'm not supposed to talk about.
You're right, there's good faith movements
There was,
to bring that down.
to bring that as
Yeah.
down and minimize it
Okay.
already, yes.
We else have any questions? Anyone in the audience have any questions at home? Satisfied with what you've presented here tonight?
Okay.
Yes.
That's pretty kind of.
So we'll leave that as requested. Okay, we'll close the public hearing. We have 62 days to make a decision. Guesses we'll make it tonight. You're welcome to stay and listen to our deliberations if you wish.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right. The only other public hearing, it's not really a public hearing.
No, it's a review,
Yeah, so we can go right on to
the decisions.
you can go on to decisions right now. I think. Yes. You want to wait, we can start with yours first and
Okay.
do it right now.
okay.
So why don't we start them with 4873 Canandaigua Town Farm Town Line Road.
My only question, I know this is a movable structure, but if the variance is granted, if they decided to change that to a permanent structure, the variance would hold.
Correct.
As long as it's in the same footprint.
Yep.
Yeah.
My only comment was the one I made earlier, or was starting to make earlier, which is, to me, it looks like there was an honest attempt to move that as far into the property and alleviate the variance as much as possible. You know, they're giving up, being able to put both driveway slots into the garage and only go into one, so I think it was a genuine attempt.
I think looking at the character of the lot, it kind of fits the character of the lot, but. Normally I'd be like. Not in agreement with this, but yeah, and there is a big bank on the road.
Yeah, bank and yeah, trees and stuff. Okay. Kelly, you got anything?
Not really. Not really. I'm. My comment earlier, like when we decide, I didn't know that we didn't have that rule anymore about the accessory structure in front of the front of the house. That was my concern. I don't know if I agree that, I mean, I know they've made great effort to change it, but is this a hardship or I'm struggling with that part of it, so that's where I'm at. If that made any sense.
It does.
Okay.
Call the question?
Sure. CPN 2024-112 4873 Canandaigua Farmington Town Line Road. Shall the requested front setback variance of 22 feet be granted? Shannon Chevier,
Yes.
Jason Outhouse,
Yes.
David Emery,
No,
Kelly LaVoy,
No.
Chip Saylor.
Yes. Be granted as presented with the diagrams and site plan. That's the reasons here. I think the topography of the lot poses some challenges which need to require it to be not where it is. Other means I think would be difficult. Character of the neighborhood is it goes along with the character of the neighborhood. Doesn't cause any detriment to nearby properties. It is a substantial increase, but I think the other factors outweigh that. Self-created, yes, but again, I think they've tried to reduce the amount of variance. We didn't have anything from neighbors, did we?
Yes,
Oh, we have one from one neighbor from this.
they both were find, yeah, 2 neighbor letters. there.
Never mind. So I guess we can put that as okay with the neighbors. Okay. And so it's approved as presented. You have a year to do it.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you very much. Have a nice night.
Okay, the next one would be the generator. Any other questions?
No.
And that is being looked at by the ordinance committee.
Yes.
I'll call the question.
Sure, CPN 2024-109 4821 County Road 16. Shall the variance request for a second accessory structure in the RLB be granted? Shannon Chevier,
Yes.
Jason Outhouse,
Yes.
David Emery,
Yes,
Kelly LaVoy,
Yes,
Chip Saylor,
Yes. As presented with the site plan, this is not a significant variance because the structure requested is so small, I guess. And it's, I think it's the obvious place for its placement.
Yeah.
There's no neighbor on that side.
Never gonna be.
Yeah. It's not gonna be a detriment to the neighborhood. Since everybody else is getting one, it's in the character of the neighborhood.
just a matter of time, right?
Right, yeah. So no negative adverse effect on the environment. Anything else? I guess should we state again that hopefully the ordinance committee will be changing this so it's no longer needed?
Yes.
Okay, and I guess conditions are as presented tonight and 1 year. Do it. Remember that without Chris here.
Mm. I thought it seemed kind of quiet.
That's a good question, and when that 3470 Sandy Beach wasn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't the ECB concerned about the drainage too?
Sorry.
Wasn't the ECB concerned about the drainage?
They did say it's an impermeable surface and did make that point, yes.
Yeah. But that'll come back and we'll finish that.
Right. Sounds like he's simply gonna leg it to the house and that drops 2 variances, so.
Still close. Okay, the next is CPN 24-124. This is a request for comments on the local.
Can I ask about the one that's being dropped for tonight? Is it being dropped for forever or dropped?
They wanted it tabled. We're going to look at the variances and try and do it.
Okay.
Did
because
you
there's
see
a-
the planning board's
There's a book
recommendations
here.
on?
Huh?
Planning
Okay.
board recommendations, you got those?
Isn't that what this said?
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently, before you came in, I guess, I wondered why we're suddenly getting these things from the planning board. But I guess they were supposed to be doing that all along if they had significant
There are
concerns.
certain cases where they are supposed to, especially if it involves pre-existing non-conformities, planning board has to comment to you on their thoughts. So that was something that Chris Nadler and I found and Sarah out of nowhere in the law. So where that come from there was, and like, okay, so it has to be referral.
Oh, good. This helps with some of the
Yes,
times when we've had questions, yeah.
I thought they were suddenly unhappy with this, so they were starting to do that.
it was.
They are unhappy with this.
Probably.
I was just
probably
happy they were
a little
sending them.
bit.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, the applicant does know that, I mean, like, you've never done a 25-foot over there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
For that.
Okay, on the.
What's the comment?
Where was the, yeah, but there was a thing set out, wasn't there? on the changes in the code there. It basically was always just substituting smaller figure, the 720 for larger minimum.
It's going exactly from what to what?
Right now, it's the minimum size, they're requesting 720, but they're actually looking at making it 0. If it is, they're not gonna be a minimum size requirement. That's one of the options they're putting in. They wanna know how you're gonna feel about that and reasons for it. The planning board discussed it last week. And they feel that it's good, especially if we're to encourage more low-income housing, people who can afford housing, so they can build something smaller,
Right,
you know, even a tiny home. You know,
yeah, I know it's the, I'm guessing it's the tiny home.
But we're
Trend.
going with 720 right now because that's the minimum for a manufacturer.
Is this Thomas Estates?
No, this is
This will be the law for
this is the
everything.
law, the whole town.
No, I know, but there's a specific address here, 5440.
That's our address.
Well, it's us.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's gonna be a lot of little houses out around.
Maybe, yeah, they've
Town
got
hall.
room there. I know. I see they're working down to the east.
Yeah, down below there.
So what is the current minimum?
1100.
1100, so it's right now it's on the table, 1100 down to 720.
Yes.
720 is pretty reasonable.
I,
1100 to 720.
I'd go small.
Yeah, Shannon?
I would make the minimum, I don't like a 0 minimum
No, I
personally.
was gonna say that too.
But I'd be okay with more of a 400 or that kind of stuff, because there are some small RV styles that
Mhm.
are perfectly livable. That are not
I
720.
don't know, yeah, and some of these people might be putting out in their backyard or something, right? Is it independent?
They.
I was thinking about that. I could throw a box out back.
It still
put
has
it
to
on
be
your
livable,
Airbnb.
it still has to meet all the code requirements, where it's placed. You know, even if it's a 400 square foot home, it's 5 feet from the property line, it has to go by New York State fire code. So they have to follow all the codes still. But, you know, a 20 by 20 home is 400 square feet, that's a lot of livable space
Yeah.
if you know how to manage that.
Right.
So, yes, that's why they're saying 0, they could go to 0, but they're not theoretically gonna say, no, oh, yeah, you have 2 per square. Well, we're gonna have to put a cap on it somewhere, but they're trying to say no minimum.
The reason-
You gotta have a number, I think you need.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think they need a number. I personally would say their 720 is too high, but we don't have to say that as a board. That's just my opinion.
I mean, I guess we can say we would be okay with going to 720. We consider going lower.
Mike, the reason I mentioned Thomas is I thought, you know, this would be about a manufactured home issue. How big is your average manufactured home?
720,
Oh,
that's the minimum, so
So-
that's why they're going with that number, that's why they. show it.
okay. And that's what those are down on all along 5 and 20 at Thomas Estates. Those would all be part of the, well, is that Hopewell or the town of Canandaigua?
1120.
Thomas is in.
Thomas is- Where is that?
I
Where are you
think that
talking
is,
about?
I think that is Hopewell.
Okay, never mind.
Oh.
I'm just gonna shut my mouth.
Dave doesn't know where he is right now. He doesn't know the
I know
address.
where Thomas Estates is, but
Well, you
I
got
don't know where the town
you got
line is.
Brickyard down, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm wondering, some of the, signed up for an Airbnb out in Portland for the holidays. It's in a little, can't be more than 400 feet square
Yep.
feet, house in the backyard of this home.
Yeah, like Mike said, if it's a second home, second dwelling, that kind of stuff, all those other rules will apply.
Right, you can't have 2 principal structures in one lot.
Right.
So they would have to subdivide if we're gonna do that. Well, we want to build, you know, one of these tiny ones on our property too, you have to subdivide it.
But in general, I like the idea personally, again, my opinion is the idea of being able to put tiny homes on some of these, especially the lakefront things, is kind of cool, it's kind of neat. You'll get the younger generation that doesn't want
That's
the
not
heavy
trend.
maintenance.
Trend is bigger, it's better.
Not anymore. Not if you're 30 something.
Along the lake.
Yeah, but what if you're 30 something and you want this small home, but then now you want a 3-car garage later, your garage
Right,
is
you
like.
want a garage.
trying to get into your
That-
house.
The
that's-
garage is bigger than the house.
Be bigger than the house. Yes, it could.
Yeah, does that make the garage the primary structure?
No, but then,
I guess not.
My
So,
husband would do that anyway, so.
I guess can you just, in the minutes, just reflect that and I keep getting these things from Sarah for. How does it go on cloud permit? She wanted a response on this 2 days ago.
all the reviews that she's
Reviews,
in,
yeah.
you just, if you go into the document that she's suggesting a review for, you go down to the bottom, it'll have your name, it'll say review. Click on it, begin review, and then.
Yeah,
just write
I
in
just saw
comment.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't see it earlier either, so.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll do it. I still got one from April. I'm not sure what that was about, but.
She'll make something up.
So everybody in agreement with that?
Yeah, it works for me.
We're okay with the 720. Shall I indicate that we'd be willing to go smaller if they feel it's necessary? Should we just say?
I'm okay with that, but again, that's just me. I've got a really cute 400 square foot trailer sitting in front of my yard, so. Parked, it's what we take to the track, it's not there.
I'm still hopeful.
Could you pick something up at Lowe's for me?
Well, why don't we just say we're fine with 720 and then if it goes,
That works.
they would have to discuss it further anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's.
So we're okay with that.
It's fine.
All that discussion for, yeah, we're good.
Okay, let's see. Minutes from the previous meeting. Anybody have any comments or corrections?
Did they
Look
come
good
out?
to me.
They did come out and I don't know if I think I looked at them. Let me look.
There are motions.
See if they did.
Yes, they did, or early, I mean,
Yeah,
like
there was-
the day
yeah.
after, very, yeah, okay, yes.
So I would move that they be approved.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
All right, let's see, any referrals from town board, from town manager? Any other business?
Only, when is next month's meeting?
17th of December. Wait. Yeah, 17th of December.
Okay. There is a very strong possibility I won't be able to attend. I'm trying to count weeks, that's what I was doing there. I'm going for surgery Thursday, as in day after tomorrow,
Right, okay.
and I've been told I'll be completely useless and homicidal for 3 weeks.
Homicidal?
Yeah.
Take some Valium while you're out, maybe.
You want to attend remotely?
Yeah, right. We might get some entertainment out of it, you know?
No, we don't have any substitute yet.
Oh, no,
I don't have an alternate.
When did you say that next meeting date was?
December 17th.
Yeah, so that's my. It's my 3rd to 4th week. I can. Let you know closer
Okay,
if I
that'd be
can
great.
call in. I doubt I'll be able to come in at that point in
Yeah,
time,
I don't think you wouldn't need to.
but, okay.
No, Zoom works great, you know?
No, but we
Especially
have to have
homicidal. It's like.
we have to have a quorum here.
No, the doctor is just very, I do like this doctor. He's being very honest. He said I'm going to be in a lot of pain, a lot of.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, my holidays are looking better. That's too bad. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'm not there, so I don't care.
I move we close the meeting here, adjourned.
And
Second,
shut off Zoom.
Second.
all in favor?
Bye. Bye, everybody.